What is up, everyone? Hope you are doing great. It's your boy SAYONBIZ, and currently we are going to Dubai Mall to pick up a very special iPhone. We are about to go and pick up my sister's brand new and her first new iPhone. Okay, but Sayon, why do you keep on saying pick up? Yes, I've stressed on the word pick up. It's because we are obviously buying it, but then you can't really go to a store right now and buy it straight away. There is actually shortage of stock in all the 3 official Apple stores in UAE. So you need to reserve your spot in order to go and buy your phone. Okay, so soon after your reservation is confirmed, you'll receive a confirmation email by Apple themselves. So make sure to carry the reservation details with you as a printout or maybe as a digital copy on your phone, and make sure to arrive on time because the reservation will expire within 15 minutes of your scheduled time. Now, unlucky for me, I could not pick up my 13 Pro from the store itself because of shortages of stock, but I could order mine online and had a waiting period of about a month, which kinda sucks, but we'll get to that later. Right now, let's get back to my sister's phone. So for her, we got the 256GB variant of the iPhone 13 in a shade of pink, or I'd rather say rose gold, or maybe even faded pink. But let's get to the cover selection of the phones inside the stores, which is pretty fancy. Cause you see, you have this wall full of different colors and shades of like covers which I've personally never seen. Even different textures as well. You get in leather, you get in different textures, and also these fancy new MagSafe covers. Like what? And like most of the Apple stores around the world, this store as well pictures itself as one of the most aesthetic places for consumers with a wide variety of selection. And did you know the Apple store in Dubai Mall has 2 different floors of Apple products? The first floor is only for MacBooks, iPads and iPods, and the second floor is for iMacs, iPhones and watches. How cool is that? Got myself a bubble tea, the iPhone 13. Time to go and head home. Okay, so a quick update on the situation. The phone has been shipped and I've also received a message and it says that the order has been shipped and will be delivered by the 10th. The date was given 10th to 17th, so that's good news. Thank you so much. Yes. I have the long extension cord which runs the MacBook right over there, which in turn is running the mic over here, which is catching the crispy sound of the unboxing right over there. Here we have the box. That looks pretty. So I can just push on these tabs, right? Nice. 2 tabs. Trust me, this color looks way better in person than probably in any camera. 1 sticker, that's it. You have a SIM tray opener. You no longer have plastic covering, it's just paper. Quick start, bring your current, okay. Bring my phone, set up new iPhone, continue. This is the best part. So you just have to scan this one over here, and as soon as you scan that, finish on new iPhone. It's that easy. So as soon as you put the phone in, it shows a ring of the color that your cover is in. So this is the deep blue, it'll show a deep blue ring over here. Pretty interesting. But you know what's more interesting? My other cover. Casetify. And if you guys recognize these 2 covers from my last phone, my 10s, these are both from Casetify. This is not at all sponsored by Casetify. And okay, I've never never seen a cover like a phone case company giving like vibes. I don't know, it looks a lot younger. This one is clean. This one's clean and minimal. This one is very funky and like on the face. But I'll probably use this one for now, and I'll use this one right about when I'm using this phone on the daily, which is going to be in December. So me being a passionate content creator, why did I finally upgrade to the iPhone 13 Pro after like 4 years? I have 5 main reasons. Reason number 1, the wide angle camera. No matter what, I am a sucker for wide angle lens. Like, have you seen the footages on wide angle cameras? They just always look so good. And having used the 11 Pro Max and the 12 and all that stuff, the wide angle lens on those two phones are great. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it's pretty stable, it's smooth, but at the low light department, it really lags behind. And the 13 Pro, with all the cameras enlarged and the sensors now just booming off the place, the low light in the new camera is beautiful. So I've been testing the iPhone XS against the 13 and 13 Pro, and I'll share some shots of the difference between the 3 cameras. Now, I leave these for you to judge, but if I were to say anything, I was really impressed by the dynamic range and especially the macro mode, which is quite easy to use. You can just take the camera up to any close surface and it automatically recognizes the macro object in the frame. I just hope there was a manual mode for this, but the pictures came out nice, and I'll leave all the pictures down in a Google Drive link so you can check them out yourself. And these new cameras not only work great for photos but incredibly well for videos as well. Which brings me to the point of like mobile vlogs and also the cinematic mode. Since I'm upgrading, that's also another point, because I can finally make vlogs on my phone that have buttery smooth background blur. Although artificial, it's AI, it's not actual blur, but it does a pretty decent job for it. I think the 13 Pro works a bit more better than 13. I could not get around the cinematic mode to work properly on the 13. For some reason in landscape mode, it didn't turn on, whereas on the portrait mode, it worked somewhat fine. So subscribe if you want to see those, because I'll be brutally using this phone for the camera. So here the audio is coming straight from the cinematic mode. I want to first try with me not being in direct sun. I'm just in the shade and you can see the difference. Now I'm going to stand with my back to the sun. Hopefully it adjusts properly, and now directly in the sun to see how it affects the lighting around, if the dynamic range is good enough. But the lens actually is very wide over here. Yeah, dude, it locks onto my face. If I move it to your face, wait, oh, because it locked on.
Yeah, okay.
Damn.
Oh, way back.
This is nice, yo. It works great. My second point, the improved battery life. Now, battery has always been a problem for iPhones, and I'm not going to go in the digits. I'm talking pure experience. My iPhone XS, when it first came out, used to give me about a day. I mean, it's considerably a lot bad than when I first got it, because it's lithium-ion battery, which is going to degrade with time. That's just science. But the new battery is improved in the iPhone 13, 13 Pro and 13 Pro Max have been really great. And I can vouch, I've used my sister's phone on a decent regular basis for 1.5 days continuous without a single charge. So I'm assuming the battery on this one is going to be much better, which is of course good news, considering my third point, the 120Hz display. Finally, the iPhone gets it. I mean, it's smooth, it's responsive, it's adaptive, and I'm not a heavy gamer. I just play one game, Call of Duty Mobile. And for me, the experience between the iPhone XS and the iPhone 13 Pro was massive. The 120Hz was working totally smooth. And scrolling through Instagram or YouTube or anywhere is just so much better now. It's so smooth. You can obviously see the difference in a slow motion camera between the XS and the 13 Pro. But trust me, when you're using it in your hand, it just feels more natural, isn't it? Like, it's good. I've talked about camera, but I forgot the fourth important point, LiDAR. What is LiDAR? In simple terms, it takes 3D images of your surroundings, which you can then use on your 3D software and render it out. Not the most accurate, but gets your job pretty well done. And for a portable device, that too your mobile phone, that's a deal maker, bro. Wow. And my fifth and my last important point, the storage. I mean, come on, 1 TB storage on a phone sounds insane, but is insane. Getting a higher storage means you also get the fastest processor available for the phone at the time, which can be better for the long run eventually. And now with higher formats in photos and videos, you can take raw pictures, raw videos. It's gonna eat up a lot of your storage on your phone. It literally is a hard disk with a screen. Sequence. I've been daily using this bad boy for close to about a month now, and I think I have my fair share of pros, cons, and also things that I'd probably like Apple to include next time. Okay, we'll start with the cons first and then we'll move on to the pros. Number one, I didn't think I'd say this, but cinematic mode. Because in dark scenarios, sometimes it just does not know which one to focus at. It just needs a bit of software update to actually manage and understand whom to focus on and how to lock onto that. It's very much similar to how iPhone 7 was introduced with the portrait mode. It was a big hype, worked great, but obviously had some flaws in it. It just gets better with software updates. Number two, not all applications at the moment support 120Hz, so yeah, it's a bit of a bummer. And number three has to be its bulky size. This is very heavy a phone compared to my old 10s, and it's just very scary sometimes to just hold this with just one hand and you might feel like you might drop it because it actually tilts a lot. And also the square edges just isn't too grippy to hold in my opinion. That's just a personal opinion, but many people seem to like the square sides. Now let's get to the pros. Let's get to the brighter side of things. You get it? Number one has hands down got to be the low light capability of these cameras. Like, leave the normal telephoto, normal lens. I'm just talking about the wide angle lens alone. I mean, it's so much better than the 12 Pro and the 12 Pro Max. It's actually really good. Now, while the 120Hz is not applicable for all applications, it still is an absolute pleasure to use on a day-to-day basis with the fluidity, and just the entire interface feels really quick. And yeah, finally coming to the big factor of the year, the battery size. I'm on Instagram, I'm on email, I surf the internet, and at night I also game. If you know that if you game on on phones, it actually drains a lot of your battery. This lasts the entire day. No exaggeration. This will actually run you really good. And if you're going for the 13 Pro Max, it might be even better. Okay, so about the wide angle lens, I'd love Apple to actually introduce a stabilization on this, because yes, low light is better, it's more wider, it's definitely smoother, but if there is a way that they could stabilize the wide angle footages, I think GoPro could have a run for their money. Now I know some phones in the market already do have stabilization, but most of them are software stabilized, so they have some sort of warp in them, which doesn't really look great. So if there is a way that Apple could include an optical stabilization solution in these lenses, that would be great. Obviously that would mean a bigger bump, but talking about the bump itself, I'm actually one of those people who actually dig this new bump. It just feels a lot chunkier, but not the entire phone. It's a lot heavy. Anyway, that has been my take on the iPhone 13 Pro. I'm actually going to use this right now. I'm going outside for the Expo 2020 in Dubai. If you guys enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below, and subscribe to the channel if you like my content. Also, what do you think of this jacket? See you guys on the next one. Till then, take care. Peace out. It's a boy SAYONBIZ. Bye bye.